Hey guys, Mr. Foster. This is my back to school open house. We can't see each other on account of a virus video. So I wanted to share some things with you and hopefully get everybody started. Firstly, we know this isn't going to be a regular school year, so we can just prepare ourselves for that. But we're going to do our best to keep each other safe and learn as much as we can until we can get past this thing. As I said, Mr. Foster, this is my 16th year teaching, fourth year or so at Triton. World history is my jam. I spent about 12 and a half years teaching in middle school. So ninth graders, a lot of times what we have in world history, and they're just really big middle schoolers until they figure it out. So I like trying to help you guys step into the high school stage and get going in that part of your life. And I'll do what I can to help you. From this point forward, you'll kind of be my people, even after you finish my class. So, like I said, I'll do whatever I can to help you. I'll run through a little more intro stuff when we actually start the class part, but this will work for you and your folks. What I've got in front of you is the world history syllabus. I'll run through a couple of things. Firstly, world history, let's be honest, it's the history of the world, everything from cavemen up till yesterday. So there's no way in the world that we're going to be able to cover everything. So what we're really going to try to do is kind of hit the broad strokes of things and also make sure that we're making connections with today's world, with the things that we're learning as well. Classroom behavior, you see there, always about respect for each other, the teacher, yourself, those kinds of things, being responsible. That's one of the differences you're going to have when you roll out of middle school and into high school. In middle school, you just get passed on regardless of the kind of work that you do. In high school, attendance is an issue and work is an issue. And if you don't meet the requirements for these classes like world history, which are a graduation requirement, you have to do it again. If you fail, you got to do it again. You don't get passed on. So it shouldn't be an issue. We normally make sure we get everybody worked out. It's how your grades are going to be broken down. This is kind of important for some of you folks. Even in this era of COVID, even if you're total remote at home, you're going to need all of these things. I try to keep it cheap. 3-ring binder. If you've got a bigger one that you want to share with another class, just throw a section in there. It's not that big of a book. That'll be perfect for me. One of those cheap 70-page spiral notebooks that you can stick right in that 3-ring binder. If you wanted to get a bigger one and share it with another class, don't care. I'm not picky about those particular things. Loose leaf paper. I prefer college ruled, but if you get the big fat wide ruled, that's fine too. It's just neater than tearing out the spiral notebooks and leaving little scrigglies all over the floor. Blue and black pens, highlighters, glue sticks. Don't really worry about as much this year because remember, we can't touch anything. Got some stuff about late work. It's not that big of a whoop. Cheating, I can't really stand cheating because basically it's the same thing as stealing. It's also pretending to be something that you're not, which coming from somebody who's a 6'3" former male model who also played soccer for the United States men's national team. I don't like people pretending to be things that they're not. Kidding. I'm short and I'm old. And I never played soccer for the men's national team, but I have done some modeling. Attendance is kind of a big deal. In middle school, you can get away with a lot of stuff. In high school, you can't. If you're not here, then you're counted as absent with the new online attendance things that we're doing for days that you are at home. If you don't do it, you're counted absent. And there won't be any way to really fix that. So make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Grades, since we've gone to the 10-point scale, you really don't have an excuse for failing a class. So make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I will eventually send some way for you to acknowledge this and for your folks to acknowledge this. But remember, we're not supposed to be handing papers back and forth right now. So we'll do what we can. As I said, super excited. I think we're going to have a great year. I'm just glad to be back in the school building, and I'm glad to have some kids coming back in here because that's kind of my jam. That's how I get my life going, and I love teaching and I love helping kids. So I'm glad that we're there. Listen, you guys are the best. Email me if you've got any questions. Thanks a bunch.